Look, you can say that you're spiritual all day. You can say that you're not religious. What you have to realize is that all is one. All is mental. Spirituality is the study of energy. Applying that spirituality, applying that study consistently, repeatedly, habitually is religion. You cannot separate the two. What we have done is we have fallen into our lower self. We have fallen into the Europeanization, the colonization of our own mind. We have separated ourselves from ourselves. We have separated different terms from each other. We have even separated all of our sciences from one another. We have taken ourselves from one environment to the next. Outside of our natural environment, we have been taken from and placed into an unnatural setting, and now we think unnaturally. From being in this environment for so long, for years and years and years of being trained, of ourselves being trained, of you having so quote unquote children, of ourselves having children, and these children also being trained for generations, which affects our genes. So what you have to realize is that all of the genes, all of the years we have been programmed, it's within our genes. All of the years we have been programmed to be slaves to the lower self, it's in our genes. And everything that you're experiencing is a generational curse. Everything that you're experiencing is you being out of tune with yourself. So when you see the most honorable prophet, Chief Eligio the Christ, talking about divine knowledge of self, and you see carbonation reflecting the light, being angels and sparking you and blowing our trumpets, and you have anything negative to say, you're talking to yourself. Those are your genes being expressed back to you and reciprocating the reality for you to perceive. Whatever you perceive is you. You say, oh, I am Christ. Oh, he can't be Christ. Oh, I'm the Christ. He can't be Christ. Oh, you can't be Christ. I'm the Christ. No, that's the illusion of separation. That is the illusion of separation. See, your mind creates symbols for every single concept that your gene expresses within the physical reality on earth. Your heaven expresses manifested beings on earth. So every single being on this plane is an expression of you. Every single being on this plane is an expression of an idea or a concept that you can think of. So that means that someone else, within this illusion of separation, someone else will be your higher self. Someone else will be there to show you what to do every step of the way. You will have to latch on to an OG. You will have to latch on to a mentor. You will have to latch on to a sun, another piece of the sun, another piece of yourself, a higher version of yourself in order to become your higher self. You're separating yourself from one another. You say you're spiritual. You say, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Do you see how that sounds? Like, how can you say I'm spiritual, or I act on spirituality, which is the study of energy, because spirit is nothing more than energy. Spirit is nothing more than energy frequently moving and creating a vibration. How can you say that you are acting upon that study, acting on the information that you are getting from studying your energy, and also say that you're not religious? Because religion means mind control. That means you're actually now controlling your mind. You're taking those studies and you are implementing them. You are applying them to your mind. You are applying them to your activity. You are applying them to your life. You are applying those to your spirit. And the more you apply that repeatedly, meaning over and over and over again, religion, You're taking these legions of principles and morals and principles that you have gathered, these studies and observations that you have gathered, and you're applying them over and over and over again. That's religion. You are creating your own rituals. You are making rituals. Rituals are religion. People say they're spiritual and they're doing rituals, but they're saying they're not religious. That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. You have to know these words. You have to know etymology. You have to know what these words mean. You have to dig deep into your psyche. You have to dig deep into your psyche to actually live out the knowledge you're talking about. You intellectually masturbating, just regurgitating information that you've gotten from the lower self instead of applying that information, instead of utilizing and expressing and embodying that information, knowing what your melanin is, knowing what your mind is, knowing what your genes are and what astrology is, knowing the 5 sciences. You're letting the lower self keep you in the lower self. You are letting the lower self keep you in the illusion of separation. You're even separating the sciences. You say, no, that's not true because something that we say is not true because the science. Because you're so focused on one science. Instead of correlating sciences, instead of syncretizing, synthesizing all of the science. You do know every science that we talk about, every science that you heard of, every science that you could ever think of was all one science at first? Did you know that? It was called chemistry. That's it. All of these sciences, what we're talking about lucid dreaming, and we're talking about different star systems, astronomy, astrology, we're talking about biology, we're talking about everything. It was all chemistry. Because chemistry is the science. Chemistry it was all personology. It was many different names for this one science, but everyone knew this is one science. This is the way that we should live. We should take in from every single aspect, colors, shapes, sounds, feelings, all different types, all different arrays of frequencies and different types of energies, and correlate that with existence, correlate that with how we are living. How tall are you? How short are you? What's the depth of our minds? How deep can you go in your mind? How conscious, how aware are you of your own existence? Until we break out of this illusion of separation, until we start to put down the lower self state of thinking, put down Babylon all the way, let go of what no longer serves us, let go of what's keeping us in a state of depravity and destruction, self-destruction and confusion, and go back to our first love. It says in Revelation that you have left your first love and that you should go back to what you were doing at first. What that means is that you should go back to your natural way of thinking. You have left your natural way of thinking. You have been programmed. You have been constantly, consistently, religiously, spiritually programmed. You have been religiously programmed to do a spirituality, to live out a spirituality that goes against yourself, that leaves you in Babylon, that leaves you in the mind state of Babylon. Money, cars, clothes, when they're not needed. Having too many children, having children at the wrong time, not knowing the astrological energies, the astrological cycles, what time, what being in tune with nature, knowing the mating season of humanity, knowing the mating season, being more in tune with nature, knowing when to have children, knowing when to have gods, knowing when to make, knowing when to replicate, knowing when to multiply your God energy. knowing when to multiply yourself when it is beneficial to do so. You have been taken from your natural environment, and you now live and think that it's okay to live comfortably in the northern hemisphere, away from the sun, away from UVB rays that your melanin needs, that your U melanin needs to power your that your U melanin needs to power your neuromelanin. You have been taken away from that. Some people have powerful neuromelanin, but they don't get enough sunlight. They can't do as much as they can. They can't do as much as they could because they're not living in a tropical environment. They're not living in a natural environment. They're living in a state of separation from self, separation from the true self, which is the sun, your mind. Your body needs the sun. Everything in nature needs some type of sun. And our body scientifically has been proven that we need UVB rays and that UVA rays harm us. And living in the northern hemisphere, we only get UVA rays. That is why so many people have cancer and diabetes and all of these disease is being projected into existence. All of this stress. All of this stress is being pumped into your mind constantly. You're pumping it into your own mind. There is no one else to blame. There is no one else to point a finger to. When you point the finger, you miss the point. When you see a video of the most honorable prophet, Eligio the Christ, speaking, and you talk anything about him, any type of negativity, anything you bring to him, you're pointing the finger and you're missing the point. You're missing the point that you need to focus on yourself. You need to take the knowledge, the divine knowledge from this man. You need to take the divine knowledge from this piece of yourself, this person, piece of the sun, piece of you that is giving you the right, that is giving you a chance, an opportunity to become God, to consciously become the son of the Most High, a daughter of the Most High, a son of the Most High. Giving you an opportunity to fully connect back to your true spirituality and your true religion. Anyone who hears this message and has the ears to hear, let it be. Go and proclaim the kingdom. Let nothing stop you. Let go of attachments that do not serve your growth. Let go of attachments that do not serve you getting back in tune into the tropics, your natural environment, and activating your God genes, activating your ancient genes, your dormant genes of perfection and glory. The Most High consciousness is here. It is now on this plane. It is now here. The cycle has come. Christ consciousness is here. The Christ is here. And the most honorable prophet, Eligio, the Christ, has embodied this message, has embodied this energy. And now he is giving it out to the chosen, the other chosen ones, to awaken them and spark their minds and invoke the Holy Spirit within them, the pure thoughts, the pure energy, the pure mind within them, so that they might also inherit the Christ consciousness, so that they might also become the higher self, so that they might also be eligible and have the right to be the son of God and enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is the truth I speak to you. This is the truth. Even the sun acknowledges it, because the sun is me. The sun is my mind. Nature will stick up for you. Do not worry about anything, all of these attachments, all of these material things you are worried about. All of this pride you have. You want to separate yourself from another with your pride, with your greed, with your lust, with your glutton, with your sloth, with your envy. Instead of embracing your MODs, embracing your morals over your desires, embracing the 3 C's, your commitment, communication, and consistency. Instead of embracing the 42 affirmations of the laws of Mayat. Instead of embracing the 7 hermetic principles of Tahuti, which are the natural laws of cosmic consciousness. Once you understand that this is the first frequency, that this is the only mind, that this is the foundation of the kingdom of heaven, this is the simplest knowledge, this is the simplest way of living, this is the most natural state, the natural way to flow with all energy around you. And the only thing that is stopping you is you holding on to concepts, you holding on to energies that need to flow, you holding on to parts of yourself that need to constantly switch out and transform every single moment. Let the weeds grow with the wheat. Be your fullest self. Be the good and bad. Be the good and evil for you, because you created. You are God. And then when that time comes, when the time comes for you to reach that consciousness, you will separate yourself into whichever consciousness you hold the most dear to you. If that is higher consciousness, you will be of higher consciousness. If you fully embrace yourself and forgiving yourself for every wrong thing you have, every wrong thing that you feel like you have done every moment through the invoking of the Holy Spirit, through the invoking of pure thoughts, you're like, oh, okay, dang, that wasn't the right thing to do. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. Existence, I apologize. All, which is truly myself, I apologize. Forgive me. I will do better. And you work to do better, that's all that matters. Anything that messes up in nature gets their karma, but they are automatically forgiven because you must grow. But if you are constantly holding yourself back, blaspheming the Holy Spirit, blaspheming pure thought, the pure mind, which gives you pure energy, you are constantly blaspheming that. It's constantly separating yourself from that, constantly pushing that away, constantly holding on to things that don't matter, holding on to guilt and fear and the 7 deadly sins, Babylon. You holding on to Babylon? Then you will surely burn in eternal fire. You will surely burn in a forever, what will feel like a forever blazing, eternal pit of fire and gnashing of teeth and torture, torment. You will torment yourself because you're the only thing in existence. You didn't see that before you left this plane of chance and opportunity. You were given chance and chance and chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get yourself right. You were given chance after chance after chance after chance to see that everything is you and that you can't really discriminate that much unless you're discriminating against yourself. The only enemy is the inner me. That's what you must see. You are the devil and God. You are all of it. You are everything. You are the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. No one comes to the Father but by me. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. But if the first shall be last and the last shall be first, if the first is the last and the last is the first, then that means they are one. It means you are one. You are oneness. All is one. You cannot separate spirituality and religion. You cannot separate the most honorable prophet, Eligio the Christ, and you. You cannot separate anything outside of you from you. Everything outside of you is a indicator of something that you need to take into your mind, something that you need to analyze within your existence, because everything is an expression of your genes. Everything is an expression of your specific pieces of DNA. And you're living that out. You're living out the possibility. You're living out a parallel universe of all of yourself. You're living out a piece of the quantum field, a possibility. You're living out a very focused dream. And the sun can vouch for me because I am it. Reflected light from the most honorable prophet, Chief Eligio the Christ. Take in this message and love yourself. Know who you are. Know what your power is. Know what these symbols mean. Know what we do is for Christ consciousness. And so that those who have the ears to hear and the eyes to see can be opened and be sparked and attain their higher self. And be one with the flame of life, with the higher flame of the source of all that is, the complete unconditional love, the complete love, which is understanding of all things, and be in tune with that forever, for eternity, for everlasting, having everlasting life, having everlasting consciousness, everlasting personality, always being a sun that can shine forever on all of existence, knowing that you are that existence. I love myself, family. Peace to the gods.